Yo, it's Kyle with Campus Gains. I want to help you go to college, transform your body, and then come back and impress all of your family and friends. And in this video, I want to talk about a very simple way that you can actually take your current muscle building progress and actually make it last longer and even get to your goals faster. Okay, so what I have next to me are some standard barbell plates, okay? When you're working out with a barbell, you load it up with some plates and you work out. Now, in order to go from one weight up to another one, let's say you're doing the bench press and you start with 160 pounds, that's what you're able to bench press, and you wanna get up to 200 pounds, you can't actually just bench press 160 on week one and then on week two bench press 200 pounds. It doesn't work like that. What you have to do is you have to, from week to week, incrementally increase the weight. So maybe on week one, you do 160, on week two, you do 165, on week three, you do 170, etc., all the way up until you get to 200 pounds. Now, that doesn't really work as linearly as I just explained because, there'll be some workouts where you're just not feeling it. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep, you didn't get enough rest, you didn't eat enough, and you'll plateau on a certain week, or maybe you'll have to dial it back and do a deload. There are a lot of different variables that come into moving from one weight to the next. Now, in most cases, what you gotta do is simply put a slight little weight increase from week to week. That's because that's how our muscles work. They can't adapt to a huge load, like I said, going from 160 up to 200, but they can adapt from going to 160 to 165. However, the problem is, not all muscle groups are able to adapt to that specific weight increment, okay? Lower body muscles are much better because they're larger. We use them all the time, so adaptation comes to them a little quicker. So right here, I got a 5-pound plate. Now, in the very beginning when you're making some noob gains, it's okay for you to go from week to week adding 5 pounds on each side of the barbell and actually making a 10-pound incremental step. So that's okay. Now, if you have a good gym and they supply you with some 2.5-pound weights, that allows you to make a 5-pound incremental change from one week to the next, doing your lower body exercises. However, the problem is there are a lot of muscles that are very small, like your biceps, your triceps, and your chest. It's obviously not as big as your quads. So what do you do there? Do you move up in 5-pound increments? Sure. However, it's much easier to plateau with those kinds of increments. That's why what I have right here, this is called a fractional plate. Now, most gyms do not supply these. This plate right here is actually 1.25 pounds. So it's not, it's a fraction, essentially. They're also called microplates in some cases. But what this does is it allows you to make an even smaller jump from one week to the next. And I actually recommend that for all upper body exercises where you're using a barbell, so bench press, overhead press, even on the body weight exercises where you're doing like weighted resistance on it. So chin-ups, weighted dips, use these tiny fractional plates and you can actually make those increments more manageable, better adaptation from week to week, and it'll prolong the time that it takes to plateau and you'll make faster progress. All right, so I want you to take that tip. Go check out some microplates. I'll have a link in the description below. But this has been Kyle with Campus Gains, helping you build muscle and lose body fat in college. Talk to you later.